Hello everyone, thank you for joining us again on the 24 Carats Youth channel. All right, we have some questions that we're going to be talking about. I'm not here alone today, and here with me is Uncle Chris, our very own Uncle Chris. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Auntie. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Great.
All right, so we'll move straight to the questions, and as we answer the questions, we'll be sharing some more tips on this conversation.
Yes, the educational system is flawed. That's true. There's nothing you can do about it. But then within that flawed system is also a system that helps you. So I wouldn't say because it's a flawed system then school is a scam, or I'll throw away the education. No. But yes, you'd find out that there are a lot of flawed, educational systems, not just in Nigeria, but even across the world. Even the best of the universities still have their own flaws. So the educational system is there for you to learn. The educational system is there for you to work on yourself, to improve on your character, your dedication, your skill, and all of that. So take advantage of it. Don't hide behind the thought that the educational system is flawed and so I won't give in my best. For every situation you find yourself, it's expected that you give in your best to it. So give your best to it. Take advantage of what you have available. There are people who start in Nigeria and end up doing their masters abroad, So start from where you are and don't just cancel education. Start from where you are. You can do your masters abroad, you can do your PhD abroad. And yes, the educational system may be better, but start from where you are so you can have a foundation. Because even without a BSc or without a WAEC certificate, you can't go higher. So you need that as a foundation for the future. Okay, let me take a stab on that. So education is not just about studying a course. That's why in developed countries you have people who go to vocational schools and those who go to the schools, universities, or the conventional school. So the vocational school is for people who want to learn a skill. There's also a lot of things that are tied to it, and then for those who want to go and become a doctor or a lawyer or something, they also go to the university or go to college. So that's a developed system that works. So when you're thinking about education, think about what it is that can help you progress or fulfill your potential. So there are people here who have gone to acquire tech skills or AI skills or one other skill, and they're making money from it. They went that way because they wanted to get education in the area of that skill. So don't misinterpret it to think that it's the classroom where you study biology. That's where you can actually get education. No. So education can be in different forms. So for anyone who has gone the tech route and is making money, that's a great thing. But then, your language, or the question of the question the person was asking was, and they have made it in life. So what is your definition of making it in life? Is it because I did tech and I'm making money and then I made it in life? No. Education should help you fulfill your potential, should help you fulfill your purpose, should help you fulfill your dreams. So for someone who wants to be a teacher may not be paid $500,000 a year. He may be paid $50,000 a year, but he's fulfilled and he's transferring his giftings and his talents, or he's impacting into the next generation. He's happy. He's rich the way he is. He's contented. So, but for some other person who wants to make $5 billion, that's also for you. That's what you want. That's a dream for you. So education helps you fulfill your purpose, fulfill your potential. And as long as it helps you to do that and you're contented with where you are successful. So making it in life, if it's about hammering, you want to hit that big money and all of that, that is not what makes education not to be useful for you. We've talked about a lot of things. There are people who go the route of education and their lives have changed. There are things you can't do without education. There's a height you can't go in life without education. So if your purpose or your dream is to, for instance, be a UN Secretary General, you know that you need education. You cannot say you just have a skill and you want to become a UN Secretary General. You will need masters, you will need PhD, you will need certifications, you will need fellowships, you will need a lot of those things, because that's the way that world works. But then for you, if it's just about, I want to make money, I don't care about, this route. For you, the route where you are going doesn't need education. It's fine. You can actually do that.
Thank you very much, Uncle Chris. I just wanted to add something. I think there are some systems where you have maybe non-educated people, like we call them, maybe those that have not gone to formal schools and have like very huge business setups. If you really look into that system, you realize that they have educated people at some point, because with the way business is going, with the way technology is going, they need to do advertisement, for example. They need to work around their accounting, they need to put things in perspective. So it makes it more beautiful that at least, even we're not saying you're not employing somebody to be part of the business, but you have an idea of what's going on, like a holistic idea of what's going on. And in that setting, sometimes if you really have conversations with those people, they have the money, yes, but there is a strong desire that they wish they can actually develop themselves on a higher scale. You see somebody with a kind of skill who has not gone through maybe a very structured education, and then someone who has had a form of structured education. Sometimes you can already see the little details in the kind of things that happen. Is formal education a waste? I would say no, in my opinion. So just thought I should add to what Uncle Chris was saying. Okay, so I would like to say one of the things I would say about those opportunities is discipline. In a school setting, you're forced to, let's say, for example, wake up in the morning, have a timetable, follow a structure. And then I would give a simple example. You see a child who is in primary school, gets to secondary school, maybe an example like a boarding school. The child is put into a system that by the time the child gets home, using myself as a practical example, you're so used to waking up at a certain time, laying your bed, doing this, doing that, because the system is so structured that you find yourself doing those things. And then preparing for exams, for example, preparing for tests, having classmates, having conversations, working in groups, working with different sets of people. You might be from another tribe, your classmate is from another tribe, a different culture. So there's so many things outside just that certificate that a formal educational setting gives. And then some of those relationships even follow you over a period of time. Like for me now, I have classmates in different countries. I arrive in this country, I'm communicating with my classmates. Like we're starting from a level of relationship that we're building on. So there's so many opportunities. There are people you meet, you learn public speaking skills, for example. You learn problem solving skills, critical thinking, learning how to organize a group, learning leadership skills, so many things. And I'll just stop there. And there's so many advantages when it comes to this structured educational setting.
Yeah, to add to that, education helps you to be independent. You have that ability to think for yourself, because in fact the importance, or one of the importance of education, is that it helps you think for yourself. It helps you to ask questions, to ask why. And that independent thinking is important. It helps you have a vision for yourself. Because if I know that at the end of every term or at the end of every semester, I should make a certain score for each subject. You are setting a goal, or you are setting, you have a vision for yourself. You know what what you want to graduate with, as a young person. So that ability to be able to envision something, pursue it, be disciplined to pursue it, helps you. So that when you go out and you're working somewhere else or you want to set up a business, you know the process of setting a goal or having a vision for yourself and the ability to pursue it. So that independent thinking is important. The ability to ask why is important. The ability to look ahead of you and conform yourself to that image you are seeing for the future is very critical. So yeah, education took me out of poverty. There is no two ways about it. So for me, I value education because the more I was studying, it was I don't need to explain how I read. How I studied. When there's no light, you use lamp and stay outside at the back of the house, and there are like 10,000 mosquitoes, and you have to cover yourself like you are in Antarctica in a cold environment. So only your eyes, just because you want to prevent mosquito from biting you. Those were how we read for our WAEC, and passed, and then went to the university. Just the fact that you would spend some days without your feeding money has finished, and you go hungry and probably eat once a day. Those are the things that toughen you. Those are the things that helps your resolve and determination to succeed. So in spite of the hunger, you are reading. Nobody will teach you those things. So sometimes education exposes you to those things, to be tough, and to also say, okay, I want to come out of this situation. I don't want to have my life like this. So for me, education gave me that opportunity to struggle through things, find innovative ways to solve my problems and my challenges, even when my parents could not solve them at the time. And, just survive through school. And then by the time I was done, those skills I learned were things I began to put into the jobs that I began to do and gradually began to grow. So education for me, I went to the US because I was educated. If I didn't have a bachelor's degree, or if I didn't have a work experience that education gave me, I wouldn't have been able to go to the US. So the jobs I'm doing is because I got somewhat level of education. So education for me took me out of poverty, and it helped me to solve my problems, on my own. So Auntie, you can add some more to.
I think for me, I would pick leadership, because some of the things that Uncle Chris has mentioned, I resonate with them. I think for me, leadership in the sense that, especially the kind of schools I went to. So I've been a leader from a very young age, getting to be fellowship president, and so many opportunities that were open to me, learning politics while in school, both secondary school, university. I was in one form of politics or the other. And then learning to put things together. For me, studying sociology, I became so strong with my public speaking skills and the kind of decisions I started making at an early age. I think there was a lot of exposure. I started traveling. I think at the age of 16, I started traveling within states in Nigeria. I started reading different materials and things like that. So I can't overemphasize some of the advantages and some of the opportunities I have been exposed to as a result of the formal educational setting. And then another thing is that it also gave a structure to some of the business opportunities I had. I think even if I didn't have a formal education, at the age of 8, I had started making money. So if it's money, some form of business ideas, but in an educational setting and with some of the tips and skills I learned in such structures, it was able to help me to structure my business ideas in a more holistic way. I think my one advice I'll say is that take advantage of all the opportunities you have. If you have opportunity for formal education, don't downgrade it. If you have the opportunity to be for the vocational skills that you want to learn, don't downgrade it. And then be street smart, be emotionally smart, be socially smart. Don't downgrade any form of opportunity that comes your way.
As a young person that has your parents or someone who wants to sponsor you, you better take advantage of it. Don't say, oh, school is a scam and you don't take advantage of it. Just do it. This is a phase of life where it's a phase to grow. It's a phase to learn. So take advantage of it and learn. You can decide to do what you want to do later. But for now, take advantage of this because it's a phase, and that phase will pass. So by the time you're done, you can decide to now go and do what you want to do. But for now, take advantage of it because someone is paying for that thing. You will grow old to the point where by the time you are 20-something, your parents will look at you and say, you are now an adult. We don't have money to take care of you anymore. So you need to fend for yourself. That's where you know that adulthood is more scam than education. So now that you have people who can take care of you, feed you, clothe you, send you to school, take advantage of it, get that certificate, and then see how you can move on with your life.
Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, everyone.
See you next time. Please subscribe, share, and like.
Bye.
Bye.